From Hillary Clinton meeting with the FBI this past weekend to Donald Trump to the South Carolina primary runoffs, Rocky D sits down exclusively with me for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. Rocky D!
Yeah, here I am again.
Yes, the last time we saw each other was when I was actually sick back late.
I remember.
Yeah, I told you don't come by me because I'm sick.
Yeah, on the street. You were saying, don't shake hands with me. I'm riding my bike. I almost rode my bike here today.
Right.
We're in the Addlestone Library in Charleston, right on Calhoun. And this magnificent $60 million building, whatever it is, we're the only two people here. Us and that guy. And he looks like he's stealing stuff.
Oh, gosh.
Put that book back. Oh, we looked at this. Yeah, I was going to ride my bike here today.
Yeah.
But I would look, you think I look bad now? I would look all sweaty. I mean, it's 100 degrees outside.
It's warm.
Last time we did a show like this, we were across the street down at the other library.
Right.
And it was a month after that knucklehead killed our neighbors.
Right.
And we had a lot to talk about then, but in that year's time, it's so much other things that have happened. It's unreal.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the story that's around the water cooler. Hillary meets with the FBI.
Yeah.
Apparently she met with them for 3.5 hours Saturday, apparently voluntarily.
Right. Yeah, because everyone wants to volunteer 3 hours at a time to talk to the FBI. I mean, yeah, I've got nothing better to do today. I would really like to go be grilled by the FBI for 3 hours. Said nobody ever. Okay? She went there because she knew she had to do it. Do I think anything's going to happen? No. I think that the fix is in. I know you heard Trump say that all the time, but he's been saying that for all his life. The fix is in. I think they're going to delay anything happening to her until after the election, and then if she is elected, you won't even hear of it again. She could be the first president on parole.
And ironically, the person who was supposed to have the final say, Loretta Lynch, obviously met with former President Bill Clinton.
That was a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Well, here's what it is. The Clintons are so corrupt in my mind. They're so corrupt that they don't even care about impropriety, how things look anymore. They really don't. Bill, it's like, I'll go meet with Loretta. That's what I'll do. I do not have sexual relations with that woman on the plane. Well, she got a big booty. I like big booty. Yeah, the Loretta Lynch should not have done that. This is a way of just distracting everything that's going on. If anybody else had done that, I'm surprised Loretta Lynch is still on the case.
Wow.
I mean, because let's face it, it's her husband.
Right.
And why he met with her. He met with her to assure her, hey, you do right by my wife and she'll put you on her team. Because they think they have a good chance of winning. And they do. Because the anti-Trump forces are nuts out of their mind. I don't know if she's going to pick up Bernie Sanders voters. Not many. I think most of them will just go away. They'll find something else to protest. Okay, they'll be out on the street protesting something else. They'll be in a gay rights parade or something. I don't know. They'll be doing something else. But I think most of Bernie Sanders supporters, the ones you saw screaming out there, I don't think that I'm congested. No, it's me. Don't shake hands with me. I think that many of his supporters aren't even voters.
Wow.
They're just young people who are angry, and this is the cause celeb. Bernie Sanders is like Grandpa Bernie, who will give you a cookie and $5 just for showing up, that kind of thing.
They were making a statement, you're saying?
Yeah, it's a way to be a protester and be involved in politics at the same time. These young people who are on Bernie's side, they have no reference to what socialism is. They don't remember the Berlin Wall, except in pictures.
Right.
We saw it come down. I don't know how old you are, but I'm old enough. I saw it come down. I've actually gone to see the piece of the Berlin Wall that's on the mall, right? And so, and I'm like, wow, the Berlin Wall, there's a piece of it, yikes. And they have no reference to this stuff. They have no reference to socialist nations falling apart. Margaret Thatcher said it best. The problem with socialism is sooner or later you run out of other people's money. You could take all the wealth away from the top 1%, and it wouldn't run this country for a year. It's the generation of capital that runs things. But getting back to Hillary and her FBI escapade, if you or I did what she did, we'd be in jail already. There is a trail of dead bodies that surrounds the Clintons like nobody I've ever seen. I will be interviewing Gary Byrne, the guy who wrote that book. Yeah, I should have brought it with me, put it up here.
He used to work for the Secret Service.
He was outside of Clinton's door.
Right, when they had alleged fights. You know.
Right, he's made the statement in his book there that if you got, and I've heard this from other people too, if you were in the Secret Service and you got put on Hillary Clinton's detail, that was a punishment. Because, you know, Bill, he's an affable guy. Everybody likes Bill Clinton now. They didn't like him when he was president, but he's the party guy now. He's like Uncle Joe Biden. He's the guy in the party with the lampshade on his head. You know? He's like, hey, let's party, way. You know? That kind of thing. And so everybody likes Bill Clinton. And Bill says hello to everybody.
Yes.
The Bushes, very friendly people.
Right.
Laura Bush particularly. This guy says Laura Bush used to always come up and talk to him.
Right.
And the Secret Service guys will not talk to you if you're the protected. Okay, they will not talk to you unless you talk to them. Then they'll address you back. But he says that Hillary Clinton threw the F-bomb on his friends, and talks about Bill showed up one day with a black eye, and when he asked his assistant secretary, late gal there, imagine that job. What happened? She said, Mr. Clinton is allergic to coffee. And Gary said, really? In one eye? He's allergic in one eye? She popped him in the eye, backhanded him. Hillary is I don't think she's well, to begin with. Remember when she hit her head on Bill's desk?
Right.
And clonked her head?
Right.
By the way, she's the only woman in that office to ever hit her head on the top of the desk going down.
Yes.
He didn't get it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to,
Yeah, I don't have to explain that joke, do I? I think what happened to her was she fainted standing up and went forward.
Wow.
And when you get people fainting, did you remember there was a while that Hillary Clinton was wearing Coke bottle thick glasses?
Okay.
This is often indicative of bad health. I don't think she's healthy. You hear that constant cough like you hear mine. I'm congested right now. It's so humid out here. It's 100 degrees, folks. But if I rode my bike around for 20 minutes, the congestion goes away. I burn it right out.
Exactly.
Hillary is always going through coughing fits.
Wow.
This is often a symptom of bad heart.
Wow.
You know, so, yeah. But will anything happen with the FBI investigation? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got friends at the highest level. And the people who would be prosecuting her, they have to wonder what's going to happen to their families next. This is how the Clintons operate. It's in the book, Crisis of Character, or whatever it's called, that people disappear. Remember Janet Willie?
Right.
All those names? Didn't they kill her dog or something, or her cat? I mean, Hillary Clinton, for all her stuff with the women's issues, she went after those women who were molested by Bill Clinton. She went after them. Okay, leave my man, because Bill Clinton is her meal ticket into the big office. If there was never a Bill Clinton, there would never be you would not know who Hillary Clinton was. Okay? She picked that guy out in college and said, this is the guy I'm going to ride the coattails into power. Now, I've had women tell me, no, Hillary's the reason Bill is a success. She kept pushing him. There's something to that. There's something to that, because I just think that Bill isn't as motivated as Hillary is. She is motivated, folks. She is motivated to come to get you. You know, they know Uncle Sam thing, I want you.
Right.
Imagine Hillary's face on that. Uncle Sam goes, I want you. You go, Hillary goes, I want you. You go, yeah. You know what? You know.
Speaking of the FBI, as you know, let's talk about the Emanuel AME church victims.
Oh my God.
They're actually allegedly suing the FBI because of the way Dylan Roof allegedly got the gun before the tragedy.
Yep. I made up a meme. I don't like memes that much. They annoy me.
Right.
But I made a meme myself, and I made it on my girlfriend's laptop and just put it up there. It's in 6 digits of hits. I didn't know it would go viral like that. I had a picture of, what's his name, Omar Martin?
Right, the guy who killed the people.
In Orlando. He shot up the homosexual club in Orlando. Of course, saying gay club in Orlando is like saying club in Orlando. Everyone's gay in Orlando, and if that bothers you, you shouldn't be there. If homosexual people bother you, you know, don't go into a gay club. Okay? Yeah, right. Yeah, if black people bother you, don't come to the South. If white people bother you, don't go to Vermont. You know, Chinese people bother you, don't go to China. I made a meme up with Omar Martin on it, and on the top it said, 9 people murdered in Charleston. Media blames white racism.
I saw that tweet.
Yeah, and I made that up.
Okay.
And on the bottom I put, 50 people murdered in Orlando, media blames AR-15s.
Wow.
Now, see, that's just it. How did the media perceive this? This knucklehead, who is not affiliated with any history group of any sort whatsoever, flags or not, he went into the church, he sat there for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay? He was thinking about it. Only someone who's hopped up on drugs or is sincerely motivated will do something like that.
And don't forget, he came in there dressed in, what, a white long t-shirt or something like that?
Yeah.
It was hot outside that day?
Yeah.
It was hot.
I called up Gold's Gym. I said, they're blaming us on the flag, but he also wore Gold's Gym shirts. He goes, you think they're going to close your gym? And the guy, man, don't even bring that up. He says, don't even bring that up because it's been said to us. Yeah, he wore it, and by the looks of it, he never went into Gold's Gym.
Right.
But yeah, the real story of the murder at AME is not Confederate flags. Where we're sitting is right across the street from Emmanuel AME, 1 block away.
Right.
And the flag that in question was 122 miles from here.
In Columbia.
In Columbia. 15 feet off the ground, 3 feet square. Yeah, you know what the real problem was? The FBI dropped the ball on this guy's background investigation. He went to buy a gun, and he's over 18, so he could buy a gun. The gun store filled out the application, sent it into the FBI. The FBI, who does the backgrounds, they, sorry about that. Maybe I should have rode my bike here. They dropped the ball on it. He should not have been allowed to buy a gun with his minor criminal background.
Okay.
They should have at least tagged it for wait a while. Then this guy runs around, drugs himself up with Suboxone. We talked about this last time.
Right.
Suboxone is such a heavy drug that there are very few psychiatrists or doctors that'll even prescribe it. You have to be a heroin addict to get one, or catatonic or something like that.
Wow.
And the real thing there was, it's not gun control. We already had gun control. You had to fill out a form and the FBI had to check you out before you buy one. That's your gun control. What else can there be? So they dropped the ball on it. And I wouldn't blame Emmanuel AME for being angry with the FBI. Dylan Roof should not have had a gun legally. He didn't, by the way. That's a misstatement. Dylan Roof did not have a gun legally. He got one illegally. He knew. I bet you when he went in to buy the gun, he thought he wasn't going to pass the background check. But FBI, government, what does government do well? Nothing. Fort Sumter's out in the Bay right now. It's a big tourist attraction, especially since the 150th anniversary of
Right.
War Between the States. People have been going out there, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And they use a line out in Fort Sumter saying, Fort Sumter, when it was attacked by us, okay, and when they attacked back, it wasn't even finished. They started building it in 1829. They didn't finish it when 1861, when the fighting broke out. You know why it wasn't finished in all that time? It's a government project. They never finish anything. Why didn't the FBI catch this guy in a background check? Because they're government, in a sense. Yeah, you got Dylan Roof. Now he's and why do we feed this guy? I don't even want to get into that.
Sure.
Yeah. Now we should be asking the question that nobody in the media here locally wants to ask because they're afraid to ask it. I want to know, where'd the money go? I understand replacing breadwinner money, but isn't there something like $2.5 million? They just got rid of the minister lady who took over.
Betty D. Clark.
That's her name. She went up to Myrtle Beach.
Georgetown.
Right, she went up that way. And nobody is asking why. I want to know why. Did she ask where the money's going? I bet she did, because I don't think she stole it, but she wants an accounting for all that. Remember the Charleston 9, the firemen?
Right.
A year after that happened, I said, where's the money going? Everybody called my show and yelled at me, how dare you pick on the firemen? I'm not picking on the firemen.
Right.
I want to know where the money went.
Right.
It was given by people like Emmanuel AME out of good conscience, out of their heart, right? They gave to the people like, man, maybe this will help you out. Where's the money going?
Okay.
And there are groups profiting by this tragedy over there. You interviewed one of them, didn't you?
Who's this?
The guy from the National Agitator Nitwits, whatever his name is.
Well, I interviewed the elder way before that.
Well, you know he's nuts. He's a fraud. That's right, I said it. He didn't say it. I did. And by the way, channels 2, 4, and 5, why don't you hire this kid? You got people on the air who can't even... If I hear one of your kids one more time say Horry County, I'm going to throw my TV through your window.
It's Horry.
It's Horry County. And by the way, it's not Laguerre Street. Where do you get these kids?
Yeah. But let's move from Charleston to Columbia.
Okay.
As you know, there were two really prominent races this past last weekend and the week before.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had Lee Brightest Spartanburg. He's out.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Tell me about that.
It was a surprise because he ruffled a few feathers up there, but it was a surprise because it's one of the few candidates that Nikki Haley backed that actually won. She lost like 75% of the. You don't want an endorsement from someone like Nikki Haley when all that controversial stuff happened.
I want to talk to you more about that.
I called her office, never got in. Rob, why didn't you call me back? I called senator's office, legislator's office, state representatives. I said, do not pull that flag and flagpole down because all you're doing is making it worse. And it did get worse. Now you got knuckleheads riding around with PVC pipes in the back of their Ford trucks with big flags flying off the back. Didn't see that too much before. But there's an old saying. Whenever you try to, never do this, never try to erase the history of a conquered people. Because when you do, that's when they'll come back. Okay?
And as you know, Lee Brightest Spartanburg is out. Larry Martin's out.
Larry Martin, I just talked to the guy who beat him on my show, RockyD.com. See? Here, let me point it out for you. RockyD.com. I talked to the guy who won, Rex Rice. I talked to him and I said, are you surprised you won? Don't tell me you're not surprised you won. And he says he was. He was surprised that he did so well. And one of the things about Larry Martin is I believe that Nikki Haley endorsed him too. I will tell you one of the reasons Larry and many of the other guys lost.
Okay.
Silently, you didn't hear it. All of the hubbub and the screaming about the Confederate flag in Columbia, remember that? Was done mostly by people who don't live here. Waylon Jenny Horn, notwithstanding. That's right, Waylon Jenny. Thought you were going to beat Sanford? She did better than I thought.
She came close.
These groups, the Confederate Heritage Trust, the South Carolina History Preservation Fund, whatever they call themselves, Sons of Confederate Veterans,
right.
There are thousands of them, and they all have families, and they all get into like history stuff. You've seen the reenactments?
Right.
They don't run around and shove flags in your face. They certainly don't shoot people.
Right.
And they certainly don't go places they're not invited. All right? Basically, the Sons of Confederate Veterans that I know, the three main things they do reenactments, and they clean up streets and cut grass. That's what they do. One Saturday every month, they're up. Those are the guys you see along the road, Glen McConnell Parkway, picking up trash. That's them. Yeah. And they cut the grass around cemeteries, around gravestones, and all that kind of stuff. So Confederate flags, they can't hurt you. I mean, look, there's one. Wait a minute. This is a secession flag. Right. That is a Confederate flag. Look out, Quintin! Look out! Whoa, it's trying to get you.
You talk about the Glen McConnell Parkway. Let's talk about the West Ashley Circle. As you know, that's becoming very chaotic.
Can I mention one thing about the other question? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I called them all and said, all these people have families, and they all vote, and some of them have grandchildren of voting age.
Okay.
You better go talk to them. And a couple of senators asked me not to name their names, and representatives did go talk to them. Notice how many elected officials decided not to run for office again. They didn't want to put up with the hassle.
Chip Limehouse didn't run.
Chip Limehouse has been a state legislature since about 1890.
Yeah.
I think he just had enough. He wants to go out and have some fun. And but yeah, he and I don't know if he really got involved in the flag flap. But like I told you, they should have left that sleeping dog lie. Nikki Haley, if she wanted a job in D.C. or wanted to be shown as a gutsy person, she stood up on a podium and said, I'm looking out at you 200 people out here. I can tell you that most of you are not from here. You're seeing that flag there for the first time. And now it makes you mad? It's been there for years. Where you been? Now it makes you mad? Go home. Do not come into our state and tell us what to do. If we want to take it down, we will. We want to put it back up, we will. We want to paint it purple, we'll do that. Okay? You do not come into our state and tell us what to do. That's what I wanted her to say.
Well, talk to me more about Governor Nikki Haley, because I want to know, what is it like, what will be the next remaining years of her career as governor?
Well, it's she's done a lot of good things. I mean, she's been involved in bringing business into this state. But I've come across the realization, I've said this on my show, it seems like she's giving up on SC in favor of DC. She will leave this area, and she wants an appointment or a job in Washington, D.C. Look at all the presidential candidates she backed.
Right.
And she came out, she goes, I would never be Donald Trump's vice president. And of course, you never wiseacre with Donald Trump, you lose. Okay? Never shoot at Donald Trump. If you shoot at him with a BB gun, he'll shoot back at you with a bazooka. I mean, let's face it, because he came out within hours and said, you don't want to be my vice president? Who asked you? No, I didn't ask you. I wouldn't want you as vice president. And it's true. I think he's going to pick a female vice president. And I think it's going to be that lady from Iowa.
Right.
Johnny Ernst? Is it Johnny or Joni?
Is it Joni Ernst?
Well, whichever. When you spell your name Joni, it's Joni. Yeah, that's like Bono. Yeah? The guy from, what's his name? The guy from U2? Yeah, it's not Bono, guy.
Right.
It's Bono.
Right.
B-O-N-O is Bono. Like in Sonny, Bono.
Right.
He was here first. So I think they should have left that whole issue alone.
Okay.
I mean, would you go up to the Boston area and tell them they can't do Tea Party stuff? You know, you can't have guys dressed up like Indians throwing tea into the harbor. You know, and you can't have monuments to it because it might offend Indians or colonials or whatever. No, you don't do that.
Because you say it's part of history.
You don't go out into Texas, Oklahoma, and say, stop all that cowboy stuff. You don't do that. Well, you can do that in a bar in Texas once. That'd be it. You know, you don't go out to New Mexico and say, hey, what's with all the burritos and Mexican food? Don't bring ZZ Top in here with their enchiladas. You can't do that. So don't come to the Southeast and say, stop doing the Civil War stuff. This place was built on war. We were the first state to tell England and King George, bye-bye. We were the first state to tell Big Brother Washington, D.C., 84 years later, bye-bye. Okay? Yeah. And that's just, you know, and I'm wearing a secession pin today. Bye-bye. Oh. You asked me about the traffic circle, something more local?
Yeah, let's go to West Ashley.
Oh my God.
West Ashley Circle. Everyone's upset about that.
The road to nowhere.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I went out there and and the only time you see somebody on it, you see somebody where it goes on Glen McConnell Parkway when it comes right down the bridge over the railroad tracks, that little dip off to the right, that's the only section people use. And they don't use it often, most people don't, because when it takes you to a stoplight. If you go straight to Bees Ferry, you turn right without even stopping most of the time. And so when you see someone going the other way on the traffic circle, they're lost. One of the problems right up front with that traffic circle is when it says West Ashley Circle Drive, as you're coming down Bees Ferry from 61 going to the Walmart, the West Ashley Circle's light, then there's Glen McConnell light, then there's the Walmart light, which is the other side of the circle. They all look exactly the same, and people are turning the wrong way. I've seen people get into the left turn lane at West Ashley Circle off of Beach Ferry, then yank back out because they realize they're in the wrong way. Because if you go down that way, the other way, which hardly anybody does, there's weeds growing up on the road already. You have to come back and do the whole circle again. And so it's just, they got to do something there. The other thing is, I don't see the development being successful. I'm not a big environmental wackazoid, but they're destroying wetlands in this area. You know, and I'm not worried about, you know, the rare snail darter fish of some sort, or, you know, some rare, you know, southeastern tiger striped mosquito larva. I'm not worried about that. Okay? What I'm worried about is, where are you going to put the water? Where does it go? Saturday I was riding my bicycle in the area Hickory Hills, which is behind where they're going to build. You know what they're going to build there, don't you? It's going to be convenience stores and what they call low construction. Kind of the stuff you see like restaurants. Well, like you see a lot of it along the triangle. A lot of that low construction, the newer ones that are built. The front end of those buildings look really nice. You know, like like some of the plazas you see. Go around back. That's what these people are going to be seeing from their $800,000 homes. There was a guy who was riding around there once on a bike, and he was fixing his mower or something. One of those big riding mowers, because he has like 5 acres, and the houses are huge, and they got horses out there. And so his property line ends, then there's the trees, and then there's where they're going to build these new buildings. He's going to be looking through a very thin line of trees, if any trees at all, at the back end of a convenience store. Wow. And he is not happy. His $800,000 home is going to be worth about $600,000 when they're done with that. Nice. Now, he brought up something that I wasn't aware of. First of all, I thought about the noise. He's going to hear a lot more noise, and it's going to be unsightly. He also brought up something that I didn't think. He goes, and the back ends of businesses always have security lights. It's going to be light out here at dark now. Wow. I said, I didn't think about that. He just shook his head. He didn't like it. Because when he bought that house, that plan was not in the making. That's what he told me, but I don't know about that. It's like the people who worry about the completion of 526. Right. When you bought those homes, if you bought them after 1973 or something, whatever year they said, you should have known there was going to be 526 completed through there. You should have known that right up front. But, the traffic circle, the road to nowhere, I went out there on my bike with my little, and as he will tell you, the days of giant cameras and microphones are gone. Right. If you see a TV crew out there with a giant camera and a microphone, they're just showing off, or they got old stuff. Right. I could do my entire show on this thing. Yeah. iPhone. I for idiot. Keep the droid. I am not an iPhone fan. I got talked into this. Zach, who used to work with me, and I use it now because it has a good microphone in it. That's great. And they take great pictures. That's awesome. But other than that, pooey. Yeah, I like droids are a work phone. iPhones are a toy phone. Okay. I call it my toy phone to my gal. She will be listened to. Yes. She gets real mad because she likes her iPhone. Oh. Of course, her iPhone is the size of a milk carton. I mean, it's huge. Right. But that being said, the traffic circle, I don't see where all these cars are going to be flipping off to. Now, I'm going to go, right after this taping, I'm going right over to Easter Bees. By the way, Easter Bees, you should advertise on my show just for me saying that. I'm going to... And his show too. That's right. I'm going to go there and talk to him because I hear Elliot Summey's going to be down here. He lives in North Charleston. But I'm going to go down here and talk because I want to know. Yeah. What are you going to do with these homes? These people are going to lose, 6 figures in equity. Sad. What do you, and all the thousands and tens of thousands. You think I'm making this up? The tens of thousands of people that are going to move into that area? Where are they going to go? Bees Ferry, by the way, the widening of Bees Ferry. I don't like it. It's falling apart. The trees are falling down. I took a picture when I went there. I took my phone out. Like I told you on my bike. I took a picture of because I like to ride on the sidewalk. Okay. For those bicyclists out there, yeah, I know the rules of the road. I have a right to the road too. You have a right to be dead. I mean, it's stupid to ride. If it's 35 miles an hour or over, you shouldn't be pedaling in a lane of traffic. You can't go 35 miles an hour. Okay? Your Lance Armstrong or something. Even he couldn't go 35 miles an hour without juicing himself. But the by the way, it's Radio Free Rocky D at RockyD.com. I don't know where these people are going to go. Right on St. Andrews, across from the Oasis car wash, the Cactus car wash. They're building 172 apartment units. Let's just say they fill that up. That will be minimum 80 to 100 cars, probably more than that. You're going to have maybe 300 cars in there, okay? Because most people, unless a person lives alone like me, I have one car. Okay? But like the people that live below me, they just moved out. He and his girlfriend and his parents lived there for the longest time. There was 4 cars out there for one apartment. Most of these people are going to have jobs, I assume, in this 172 apartment complex. I took a picture of it. It's ugly as hell, too. Okay? It's ugly as hell. Everything they're building in West Ashley, why does it have to be butt ugly? I mean, really? So,
you may have to talk to Mayor Tecklenburg soon.
Well, he lives in West Ashley. We now have, for the first time in 40 years, first time that I even know of, we have a mayor of Charleston who actually lives in West Ashley. And I'm sure he's concerned. He might be there today. I don't know. I haven't talked to him lately. I texted him a couple times about things. But when let's just say there's going to be 200 cars, they're going to pile right out into a traffic jam that's already there at St. Andrews and Sam Ritt. Right. It's right at that corner.
Right.
Where are they going to go? And they're all going to want to pile out between 7:15 in the morning and 8:45. All of them want to come out at the same time. You watch. How are you going to make a left turn? You going to put another stoplight out there? There's a stoplight 45 yards away. You going to put another one out there? I mean, when in traffic, in heavy traffic, along St. Andrews, I can ride my bicycle faster downtown. Without a bike lane, I can
That's another way.
Oh my God.
Talk to me more.
I can get down there faster. Bike lane?
Yes, sir.
Dumb idea. Mayor Joe had his ear bent long enough by the Charleston Bicycle Clubs. And the Charleston Bicycle Clubs, I'm a bicyclist. You see me on my bicycle all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, $21 in spare parts. That's how I put this bike together. I love it. It's great. It's the purple piece of, you know what, PPOS. It's famous. It's infamous. And I mean, you know, the pedals were bent to 2 different size tires. There's no front brake. It's got 18 speeds, 4 work. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
The only place I lock it up is either downtown or at the Walmart because I steal anything there.
Yeah.
So, but I go places like Mars and Jack's Cafe
Right.
and places, I don't lock it up.
Okay.
No, good luck trying to ride it.
Right.
It's got a clip-off seat anyway,
Wow.
so you can take that off.
Wow.
But these bicycle clubs push out bad information. Do you remember that anesthesiologist who died, the anesthetist that died on the James Island connector?
I remember that, yeah.
There was a reason that the van driver who hit him and knocked him off the bridge, and he died either from getting hit or died from hitting the bluff pipe, 48 feet down.
Right.
There's a reason that the telephone van driver only got a $170 ticket, and he beat that in court from what I hear.
Wow.
Because there weren't supposed to be bicycles on the connector. That's not a bicycle lane, it's a breakdown lane.
Right. Yeah.
And if you come on to the James Island connector from James Island, back off the car in front of you a good 30 yards. I know people behind you be beeping. You're supposed to be right up on top of somebody, right? But if you back off, watch their right wheels. Everybody goes into that breakdown lane for a second or two because nobody drives in a perfect line. And that's why they're there. That's why road lanes are, what are they, 8 or 9 feet wide? That's why they're not 7 feet wide.
Right.
People don't go straight.
Right.
You know, and bicycles don't belong there. And there's even a big sign that they've hurried up and put back up real quick after that guy died.
Right.
You know, it says no bicycles, no walkers, no joggers,
Right.
no cattle.
Right. I used to jog run over the connector a long time ago.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
It's not safe. People can't see you.
No.
The other thing that the bicycle clubs put out is false information of how many people would use the bike lane when they tried to change it over to the Legree Bridge. And by the way, Legree Bridge, for those of you young kids working on channels 2, 4, and 5, it's not Laguerre.
It's Legree.
Right, over the Charleston Bridge, as they sometimes call it.
Right.
Over that, I've even seen people pedaling over the North Bridge.
Right. That's dangerous over there.
Oh, that's like death by bridge,
Yeah.
suicide by bridge.
Right.
Yeah. But when they closed the lane, I volunteered, got no answer back, of course, volunteered to sit there with a clicker between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning.
And watch the traffic.
See how many bikes go by. You're gonna close a lane of traffic, spend millions of dollars doing this. For what? Maybe 30 or 40 bikers in an hour? No. I ride downtown to Riddlebank Park and the Joe all the time. Oh, I got to ride my bicycle around inside the Joe. I went there, was nobody there. So I'm taking my bike out and they said, well, just don't wreck anything.
Oh. You got VIP status.
Yeah. Well, I was already out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't ask, I told them.
Oh.
Yeah, I figure, you know the old saying, it's easier to get forgiveness than to ask permission. I'm sorry, I'll get my bike out. I'm thinking, what? Already did it. But I go over that little sidewalk on the Charleston Bridge there,
Right.
the drawbridge. I go over that little bike. Now, if it's really crowded and there's somebody coming your way, you got to use your head.
Right, get off.
And if you're unsteady on the bike, you shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
Maybe you should walk it over.
There you go.
If you have a trike, one of those adult trikes, you ain't going.
Right.
But yeah, and you've seen me how many times downtown on my bike, more than a few times.
Right.
To close the lane, spend all that money, it will turn out to be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars per person that uses a bicycle.
Wow.
I like bicycles too. I understand they're environmentally friendly, unless you stand up next to a guy and take a whiff of him after he's been biking for 30 minutes in 100-degree heat. Okay? But not everybody can ride a bike to work.
Right.
Okay? Would you go in and talk to a lawyer or an accountant or a business person downtown if they smell like Yeah, like old laundry and they're wearing sweaty clothes.
No.
You can't.
No.
And not everybody can bring a change of clothes to work. I understand. Bus boys, things like that. All right, ride your bike to work, but there's not enough of them to justify spending all kinds of money, which we could use for something else, like magnificent tree-lined traffic circles, which tend the roads to nowhere.
There you go.
Well, I have actually driven around the circles on a traffic circle. It's more than a traffic circle. It's a traffic circle with a circle inside of it. If you go around all the way to the end by just before you turn to get back onto Bees Ferry to go to Wally World,
Right.
there's another circle there. You can see what it's going to do. It's going to go off. Eventually, Glen McConnell is going to meet up with 17 way down.
Wow.
That part I understand. Putting all the businesses along there,
You don't.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. And plus, you can't build anything in the middle of the big traffic circle because anything. They did this in Clearwater, Florida, when I lived there. They built a big traffic circle at the end of the, I think it's called the Causeway, which goes at the end of the Causeway. It goes from Clearwater to Clearwater Beach.
Right.
That long stretch of road you have to go over the water, very pretty.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but they put a traffic circle in there because traffic began to get backed up. But then they made it is a big, wide traffic circle. They made the mistake of putting a big, pretty $500,000 fountain right in the middle of it, which blocks your view of the other side of the circle, so you can't see people coming.
Wow.
So they had to take that thing down.
Wow.
So, I mean, but that traffic circle seems to work. I can tell you who likes traffic circles a lot.
Who's that?
Fender bender places. People who fix dents.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
That'll keep them busy though.
Yeah, hubcap shops. Hubcap shops love speed bumps.
Wow.
Transmission stores, they love speed bumps. Or wreck your tranny. But yeah, I think that the traffic circle, something had to be done. I'll find out what Elliot says today,
Okay.
and I'll let you know, so you can post it up. But, you know, by the way, you can see this show today. I'm going to put a link on my thing to your place.
Sure.
You know, why do a show when I'm busy all day?
I know, right?
I own myself now.
Yes, indeed.
What else you want to talk about?
Well, we have to run.
We do? There's nobody here. You know, if I could turn that thing, I'm in it. How much does this building cost?
Gosh, millions. I
No,
don't know.
tens of millions.
Right.
And right now it's like 68 degrees in here, and there's 3 people. He and I and a security guard.
Yeah, that's it.
And he was annoyed that I woke him up. But, and this place is solidly 68 degrees.
Wow.
How much is it costing per day to air condition this place? Holy cow.
Yeah.
You know, you can build traffic circles for that money.
Rocky D, thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Sure enough, man. There you go.
Thank you.
Great.